apparently are not in a balanced meal, we're just gonna have to make our own. So start by adding together 1 ripe banana, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, half a cup of mini chocolate chips, and I'm just using 2 1/4 cups because my half cup is currently MIA, and 1/3 of a cup of butter, all into a big mixing bowl. Next, I'm just using a whisk and a wooden spoon to mash up the banana and mix everything together until it's starting to look a little bit like cookie dough. And then I'm going to add in 1 full cup of flour and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And you can totally add this all in at one time at the very beginning if you want. But I just find that it's a legit arm workout when the flour goes in at the very beginning, so I like to do it in stages. And once it's all mixed together and looks like actual cookie dough now, I'm going to cover my pan with parchment paper so the cookies don't stick, and just roll the cookie dough into little balls using the palms of my hands and then evenly spread them out onto the pan. And obviously these aren't mega healthy, but we do know exactly what's going into our cookies, so there's nothing super fake and it's not loaded with preservatives and uses natural sweetener from the banana and obviously a little help from the chocolate chippies. And I'm going to finish it off by flattening them a bit and popping them into the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes until they're cooked and ready for eating. And by eating, I mean like 2 or 3 or like all of them. Favorite and has been a go-to for me literally forever. So I'm going to start by cutting up some of my favorite fruits, starting with kiwis, which I'm going to cut into slices and then into halves and then into quarters, followed by some raspberries and blackberries, and I'm just cutting them into halves so that when they're in the popsicles, they're not just like giant berries just chilling and falling out. And also, if you're choosing super colorful fruits, they kind of help dye the juice and give it a really cool colored and almost ombre effect. Now with my popsicle makers that I just picked up at the dollar store, I'm going to fill the first one up until it's almost full and pop all of my little fruit bits in and then top it off with a little more lemonade until it's completely full. So go ahead and do that for each little holder, and these things are actually so cool and so perfect for making a cold fruity snack that can be made up of whatever flavors you like, so like fruits or juices or even yogurt. And then put the tops on, cheese slices I'm going to place onto my cutting board, and I have a few stacked on top of each other. So I'm going to start by slicing them into thirds through all of the layers and then cutting it into thirds again, going in the other direction. Next, I'm going to cover my pan with parchment paper for minimal stickage of cheese crackers and just start placing all my little cheese squares in rows onto the pan. And obviously cheese does have some fat content, but it's a snack that's decently high in protein and pretty much carb-free versus eating a whole box of vegetable thins, which almost happened to me last night, but no judgment. And then pop them in the oven at 350 degrees for 12 minutes and you're done. And real talk, these are so delicious, you'll legit be fighting off your friends.